Hey yoga friends, this is part 2 of my video series on making peace with plantar fasciitis. Be sure to review the first video before doing these exercises. It has really important information about how to place your foot so that your plantar fasciitis becomes a thing of the past. It has a great chronic nature to it and we want to wipe it out. So you got to review what's in video 1 until you understand it and the nuance in your own foot. For this video, where we're actually doing some exercises to help with PF, you will need 2 therapy balls. You can use tennis balls. I advise not to use a hard ball like a golf ball or even a handball ball. It's really good to have something that's pliable to move around the bones of your feet and to give some good massage to the tissue that's not going to just compress the fascia in the foot. You're also going to need 2 yoga blocks for what we're going to do. You may need a chair. I've got one here handy. And you'll need a tissue for one of the exercises. Let's get right at it. So let's first warm up the fascia at the base of the foot with these therapy balls. I'll show you a side view. You're going to place the ball under the ball of the toes, the ball mounds, with the heel on the floor. If you have a wall to stand next to, you can do both balls at the same time. But it's good to have a wall for balance. I'm compressing, heels are on the floor, and I'm bringing a stretch to the fascia that can get very short, especially if you're a supinator. If this is too much pressure on the heel, you can take one foot up and lessen the pressure and do a stripping action. I'm compressing as I go the length of the sole of my foot, and I do this 1 foot at a time. Second foot, compress and begin to massage the fascia so it becomes juicy again. So to review, I'm stretching here, stripping on each foot. Go back and forth like 7 to 10 times. Go easy if you have some inflammation on that point at the front of the heel. Next, we'll do this one at a time. The ball is again under the ball mounds of the toes. And you're going to use your foot as a lever and rotate to the inside of the foot and the outside, inverting and everting the ankle. Notice I'm not doing a big hip action here. I'm initiating with my ankle and going back and forth. If you wear shoes that are pointy toes or have a short toe box, these bones get very compressed, and this is going to help spread them out so that you're not pinching the plantar fascia here. And ending with some stripping. You'll feel just after a few minutes of doing this a totally different experience in one foot compared to the other. So check now. Close your eyes and you're going to feel probably in the foot we just worked more grounded into the sole of the earth. So we need to do the lever on this side. You can work a little bit longer than I'm actually demoing in this video, but be sure to monitor. More is not always better. We're trying to warm it up and think how good this will feel getting out of bed and waking up this fascia. Drink a big glass of water afterwards. We're plumping it up so that it can begin to hydrate again and transform from the state of beef jerky to taffy. Okay, next, take the yoga blocks and place them so that your arch spans the blocks. So what I mean is the ball mounds of the big toes are on the front block and the whole of the heel is on the back block, just like that. I'm going to reorient for our purposes of the video, and you'll stand on the block. This alone will help strengthen the longitudinal arch of your feet, but we're going to do some shenanigans while we're on the blocks. Bend your knees, lift your toes, place them back down. lift. Now this is going to be hard for the people who pronate because these muscles of the anterior tibialis are going to be weak. Lift up. That's for the pronators. The supinators are going to want to roll out to lift up. Keep the ball mounds of the big toes grounded as you do this. Even if you have to put your finger down here, do so. 5 to 7 to 10 times. Get these muscles to work again. Next, lift all your toes up and spread them. Use your fingers to hold the middle 3 toes up and take the big toe and try to extend it long, like you're trying to press on a wall in front of you. Put the toe down and do the same with the little toe. This can be really hard for both the supinators and pronators, but we're developing the transverse arch of the foot. Then you release down. Up again. Hold. Extend the big toes forward, place them down. Extend the little toes forward and place them down. That'll be a workout for your feet if you do this 5 to 7 times, 10 times. You're spreading, lengthening, and placing down. Can you do it without your fingers? Big toes. Woo! A little harder with the little. Place them down. All right, step off your blocks. That's going to do some good in strengthening muscles that have weakened and wakening them up. All right, next, this is going to be one that's going to be challenging for those of you who supinate in your foot. You may need yoga blocks or a chair. I'm going to show on the chair. This is Purvottanasana, sometimes called pyramid pose, with a focus on the feet. You'll step forward, the foot is straight ahead and back with the other one. It's fine to be up on your toes, but try to place that foot down. The supinators are going to roll out, so you need to press the ball mount of the big toe down, spread the toes, all 4 corners. And then you take yourself into a forward bend. You're going to feel a stretch on these outside muscles. This one won't be so hard for the pronators. Their previous pose is the one that was challenging for them. Hold for 5 to 7 to 10 breaths. Bending the back knee or lifting the heel can take the back leg out of it. Our focus in this pose is on the front foot and lengthening these muscles that get short. These are the peroneals or the fibularis, they're now called. To come up, you'll step forward. Second side. 4 corners of the feet are rooted, and you take your forward bend without letting the foot unroot. You gotta work it. Sometimes putting a finger down is what we need to begin to map in the body what you're asking the foot to do. And taking your forward bend. It's fine to bend the back knee and get the hamstrings out of it. One foot may feel differently than the other. Are you feeling some stretch on the outside of the foot? You're probably a supinator. Step forward. All right. Here's the last one for building strength in the foot. This is good for the pronator and supinator too. I'll point out the nuance in the foot for both. This one is that you're trying to scrunch the tissue up with your toes. You can do this with a washcloth too. The supinator is going to want to roll out, and it will be challenging for the pronator as well. So can you lift the toes up, like so, come down and scrunch, and then do it all over again. Ball mount of the big toe, ball mount of the little toe, gather up the tissue, and do it all again. It's important to flex the toes back to get this anterior tibialis to work. That's for the pronators. And then for the supinators, you've got to keep this ball mound down as you scrunch. Actually, when you draw in, it's going to come up, but I don't want you to go into the side of your foot and unweight it with the initiation. All right, tissue, washcloth. You don't need anything at all. You can walk your feet forward on a carpet if you like. It just looks like this. Can you imagine sitting at your desk and doing this? Why not? The tissue gives a little bit of a felt sense of what you're doing with the foot. And when you're really skilled, you'll be able to pick the tissue up with your toes. All right, yoga friends, that's going to do it for now. Let me know how these work for you. Take care.